So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Data Dialogues podcast. Today, we'll be discussing Gen Z and we'll be taking a deeper look at their shopping behaviors and what influences them to purchase so you can adapt your marketing strategies and earn their loyalty. So, with that, I am your host, Larissa Bedgood. I head marketing here at PGM. And with me today is Kristen Jones, PGM's marketing manager. So, welcome, Kristen.
Hi, Larissa. I'm happy to be here to chat with you on this.
Today, it's really about how brands can kind of adapt their marketing and just different things that are good to know when tailoring strategies to target this generation. So first and foremost, they love a good deal, and I am right there with you. But they are truly value-driven shoppers. And I know when I'm out with my daughter, she for sure is very driven by BOGOs, values, discounts, and so forth. So while being both budget conscious and tech savvy, price still does rule. 51% say price is a top factor when buying household essentials. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I also appreciate a good deal. I love me some Publix BOGOs and
Yeah.
a good deal when I see it. And it says here like they're also very thrifty, so that means 8% more likely than the average consumer to buy secondhand. So, visiting Facebook Marketplace is the second most popular action taken in the past month among US Gen Zers. So, they like to go to the thrift store.
Yeah, I hear you. Do you like thrifting?
Once in a while, I'll go and I'll have fun, but I don't think I have the patience. It's really like
Yeah.
a patience game because you're not always gonna find something good. When you do, it's great, but it definitely takes
Hmm.
a little bit more patience than I have. That's for sure. So
Yeah. For me, I will occasionally go to like maybe a unique thrift store because or like a flea market type of thing, because I love looking for old books, first editions, like
yeah.
early editions of books. So for
Hmm.
me, it's like I'm very specific. It's more collector's items that I would look for when I thrift, and it's I guess it kind of leaks into the thrifting antique category, but
Yeah.
same. I don't think I have quite the patience for that.
Hmm.
So another fact is that they're very digital first, which we know, I think we've heard, makes sense. But 32% will shop or browse for products online as they're searching for things that they want to buy. As a great example, my daughter and I think I had mentioned in the previous podcast, we're going on a cruise next month. So she has been doing a lot of online shopping to see what the stores have. So she will buy online, but before going to any of the stores, the physical stores, she also browses online, and then she might find the shirt there. So I thought that was really interesting when she's like, "Oh yeah, this is the exact one I saw online." And I was like, "Aha!" Also, the online grocery shopping is another area that's seeing really big growth for Gen Z, and that's up 40% since 2021. Very interesting tidbit is that they mix social with shopping. So over a quarter say they use social platforms to find and purchase products, and 16% more likely than the average consumer to use Instagram shopping.
This is a fun fact. Roughly 200 million Instagram users tap on a shopping post or business profile daily.
They also embrace AI. And we just chatted about that in our previous episode. So, again, if you guys have not caught that one, be sure to check it out. But over half of Gen Zers say they would use AI for price comparisons, and 2 in 5 say they would use AI for shopping support. So many, we see social and AI and just different ways that their shopping journey has really changed, maybe from, what we might consider a more traditional journey, well, gosh, yeah, 5 years ago, it's not even 5 years ago, several years ago. There's just
Right.
been so many advancements in technology and just ways that people are evolving as far as how they shop. Another thing, and again, we had, I think, talked about this maybe in a webinar we had done last year, but Gen Zers also seek buy now, pay later options and flexible payment preferences. So, again, these are things like you might see something like a buy now, pay later, or gosh, what are some of those services called? Klarna and Afterpay. I know those are things that are steadily growing.
Yeah.
And it's really no surprise given that Gen Z's focus is on saving money. So I think that gives such a great opportunity for brands to really target them on platforms where they are actively discovering new products and services, and then offer them a way to purchase while they're in that state of mind. And really emphasize things like no interest or low payment aspects up front. Again, that will just continue removing any barriers to buying quickly before you lose them. So as a marketer, those are some things that I really see as having some I guess impact in how you are targeting Gen Z based on this.
Is also they're comfortable using mobile payments and digital wallets. So mobile payments are surging up 46% among Gen Z since 2021, making them 60% more likely than the average American to have used Apple Pay. So when I hear stuff like that, it really makes me think, target your advertising on mobile platforms, and within
Mhm.
apps that they frequently use, that Gen Z frequent, frequently uses. So prioritize that mobile first marketing strategy. And
Mhm.
that's going to seamlessly, integrate their shopping experience. So it's easy for them to pay using, their popular digital wallets like Apple Pay, and it's 2025. There's really no excuse to not have, the mobile experience optimized, your website optimized for mobile,
Right.
your app optimized for mobile. So just, yeah, making sure that it's optimized for those easy transactions, right? Um, that's what I would say.
I still struggle half the time when I'm using my card that, where do I tap it to, have the,
Yeah,
the payment. And so when my daughter's with me, she's like, no, you tapped it in the wrong place, and here I'm like, like even trying to hit it. But so I am not an Apple Pay girl, but I will get there maybe one day.
yeah. My husband, he has one of those. I don't know the word for it. It's like a Google Watch or something,
Oh,
and
right.
he'll just hold it right up to the credit card reader at stores, and it'll scan it for him. So it's pretty
Wow.
cool.
That,
It always
gosh.
looks like such a flex too. Like some of the people like, oh, that's so cool. Pay with your watch.
Yes.
When thinking about what they prefer, like their preferences when they're shopping online, like what matters to them, what gives them a good experience, like it all influences like how loyal will they become to your brand. Loyalty is earned, and
Hmm.
Gen Z is a little bit tough to win over compared to some other generations. They really expect reliability first and foremost from your brand. So in addition to like providing that great mobile shopping experience, the buy now pay laters, they really want you as a brand to be authentic and consistent across every touch point. So what that looks like is like social media and user generated content play a huge role in building trust with the Gen Z audience. They want real connections. They don't want marketing speak. They want to hear from people that look like them, are interested in the things they're interested in. And that's why influencer marketing is so successful with them, especially micro influencer marketing, right? Like, not like a celebrity influencer. That doesn't speak to them as much, this generation. So, and then just like I was saying, the social presence really matters. Over half of Gen Z use social media to explore brands, and they're 31% more likely than the average user to find blogs, to find information on a company. So
Ah,
they're using social media to look into your brand, like to see if your brand is a good fit for them and their purchase.
mm-hmm.
They aren't just going to spend their money anywhere. They want to make sure that they're choosing a brand that, the price is right and it aligns with their values. Um,
Right.
they are deeply influenced by online conversations and social proof. So they're 12% more likely than the average to say that likes and positive comments on social media would make them more likely to buy from you. So I know as a Zillennial, I'm not a Gen Z, but I'm a Zillennial, I'm in the cohort. I really do trust, like, what people are saying, like in the comments on a product video.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to know like what the average people are saying. Like I'm going to trust that more. And that's a big thing. They want to see the social proof. That's the way to get your foot in the door with them and also to retain their loyalty. So the other thing is too, like once you have them as a customer, it's you got to keep them engaged, right? With a good loyalty program strategy. So, one thing that we found as a research point on this was gamifying your reward loyalty program can help win them over for the long term, right? So, 24% of Gen Z saying loyalty points would make them more likely to buy online. So, just incentivize them, right? Like, loyalty is definitely earned with this generation.
Gen Z shopping behaviors and preferences really have some pretty big implications for marketers who are striving to earn their loyalty this year. Again, they love a good deal, so they're not going to be afraid to shop around. So you have to absolutely need to go in by offering value. Loyalty and rewards programs are a great way to keep them coming back, but just remember, it is about price a lot of the time. So highlight what you can to showcase your value. Also, make the buying process fast and easy. Mobile shopping, flexible payment options are such a great way to, again, engage with this audience. And bottom line, make it simple to buy. Uh, Another, I think, takeaway that we just talked about is that authenticity is truly it's a winning strategy. You've got to lead with transparency, storytelling, shared values. And just like the example I gave with my daughter, that commercials are not always authentic. It's showcasing a person she can relate to, a social influencer, maybe somebody that gives to a cause that she is interested in. It's about being authentic that is going to kind of move the needle with this generation. Social proof. We talked about social proof, and that really, really matters a lot. So Gen Zers rely on social media and peer opinions. So this makes social media advertising and influencer marketing, as we just chatted on, really necessary strategies to grab their attention and earn their trust. I think one of the last points, just to wrap up on, is loyalty is hard won, but it can be easily lost. So you've got to stay connected. You've got to be in it for the long haul. So engage directly, leverage data for really personalized marketing. They're a generation that personalization is simply not an option. They expect to be known and known well. So create experiences that make them feel valued. And also on that note, PGM does offer some pretty robust catalog of insights that we can tailor to, just your cohort of generations. But things like life event data, behavioral data, and just different ways to, supplement your database with data points to help your message really resonate on a more personal level. So if this sounds interesting, little plug here, just, feel free to reach out to me and I can chat with you a little bit more about that. But on that note, thanks for joining us for another episode of Data Dialogue. Stay tuned for some future episodes. And in the meantime, stay data driven, stay creative, and we'll see you next time. Thanks all.